August 8th, 1998. The days have aligned. The perfect number. I just can't stop thinking about it. My mind is rushing. Whenever I talk to someone, all I can hear them say is 8, over and over again. And then it hit me. I have to sacrifice 8 souls so I could be free. Bureau Case Number 758, Entry 1. The local police have gotten multiple missing persons reports. All of them were single men who were jogging at the time they went missing. One person went missing a week after the other, until there were 7 of them. They all went missing somewhere in the desert. The trail has gone cold. They have given jurisdiction to the Bureau due to some crimes coming from other states. Yet, we have yet to find any further clues. We investigated the nearby town to ask the locals, but they were less than cooperative. October 22nd, 2001. After being declared a cold case for several years, we've decided to investigate the town near the last reported locations of the victims again. We've struck gold as we heard several rumours of a guy called Merle acting crazy and psychotic since the disappearance started. There were some reports that they heard screaming from his house. We tried to go to Merle for questioning, only to find that his house had been burnt down. Some of the locals said that he burnt the house himself. And then, the rest of the town mobbed up on him, effectively exiling him from the town. After investigating his burnt down home, we found some interesting writings on the wall, such as 8 is just infinity stood up, and there will be 8. We thought that this was proof he wasn't involved, as there were only 7 victims, but seeing as he was the only lead we had, we decided we had to find him. Merle's Journey, Entry 1. September the 8th, 1998. As I walked around town one day, I saw a man jogging. He had the number 8 on his shirt. This must be a sign. I must sacrifice his soul so I could be free. I approached him and stabbed him. Not enough to kill him though, as I wanted to enjoy the moment. I brought him back to my house and tied him to a chair. As soon as he woke up, I told him that he's about to be a part of a great masterpiece. I kicked the chair over and put a rag on his face and proceeded to pour gasoline on his head. Hearing his futile cries for help as I enjoyed pouring the gift from death onto him. September 16th, 1998. The second one was even more fun. I saw another number 8 on him, this time on his shorts. I put a bag on his head and brought him to my humble abode. When he woke up, I teased him with a screwdriver. The look of fear in his eyes was simply wonderful. I heated up the end of the screwdriver and then proceeded to insert the hot metal into his leg. The agonizing screams this man yelled was like an orgasm to my ears. I did it again and again and again. And when he was on his final breaths, I wrapped my hands around his neck and continued to press harder and harder until I felt the life leave his body as he went to join infinity. October 2nd, 1998. The third tried to fight back. He pulled out a gun on me, but I quickly disarmed him. He tried to run, but I brought my hammer along luckily. I hit him in the back of his head. Back in my house, I used my hammer and smashed his kneecaps. His blood-wrenching scream, a musical orchestra to my ears. Then I went and smashed his mouth with the hammer, blood spraying everywhere. I smashed him over and over and over. By the end, I would say he needed more than a dentist. October 7th, 1998. The fourth member of the 8 team was sitting by the bench, drinking his energy drink after a long jog. I brought a wire this time. I went behind the bench and pinned the wire up against his neck. He passed out immediately. Thank God it was thick wire, or he would have died there. And I don't want that, do I? As he woke up, he immediately brought up his phone and called his mother. How pathetic. Mum, call 911. I'm in some lunatic's house. I went there, sneaked up behind him with a drill in hand, and drilled through the phone into his head. Shame I didn't get a lot of screams from him, but he would have compromised my plan if I didn't act fast. October 17th, 1998. Number 5 was with his dog while jogging. I lured both of them away from the path simply by baiting the dog. As soon as I was close enough, I struck. He woke up in, less than comfortable accommodations, but I was sure to give him a soothing massage with my car battery. He woke up, tied to a chair like the first one. I stuck the clips onto him and turned on the battery. He thrashed around violently, screaming as thousands of volts ran through his body. After a few seconds, I turned off the battery. Let's just put it nicely and say that he's not alive anymore. October 26th, 1998. The sixth one was eating at a local diner. He didn't have an 8 like the first few, but by the third, I already knew the type that I should sacrifice. I went with a direct approach and just spoke to him. After establishing a strong connection, I invited him to see my boat. As soon as we were at the dock, I gave him a drink, tainted with sleeping pills, and he fell quietly. I took him to my boat, with my saw in hand. As soon as he woke up, he was tied down somewhere in the hull. I started to cut off his fingers. More of those lovely screams fueled my desire to keep going. He looked at me with an expression of extreme pain, and I enjoyed every second of it. And then, I cut off his limbs, one by one. I won't bore you with the details, but let's just say number 6 is Nick's. October 31st, 1998. I found number 7 in a local church. A strange stop during a jog, but never mind. This time, I just hit him over the head, as no one really goes to church in this town. So we were alone. I brought him back to my place, and when he woke up, strapped to my bed, the first thing I did was make him eat his rosary at gunpoint. And then I told him that we are close to the end. He looked confused, but he'll know soon enough. I took out my pliers. I figured I could try my hand at dentistry. I grabbed one of his teeth with the pliers and wiggled. As soon as I moved it, he began screaming. He bit down as hard as he could, but I moved my hand away quick enough for him to bite down on the metal instrument. Now he really would need a dentist. I proceeded to wiggle and he screamed, and screamed and screamed, with me enjoying every second of it. It finally came out. He was crying very loudly, so I pulled another tooth, one after the other, until he couldn't cry anymore. In the end, we were both getting tired. I brought him to the basement, doused him in gasoline, and lit him on fire. The screams were satisfying. He struggled to get up as I saw each layer of skin burn into ashes. Soon enough, he stopped moving. Suddenly, the fire started spreading throughout my house. It burned everything. I tried as hard as I could to get out, and luckily, I got out quick enough just before the roof collapsed. And then, outside my burning home, people started gathering and saying that I was a freak, and that they'd been hearing those screams I've been enjoying so much. They exiled me from the town. Those pigs don't understand. I was simply achieving perfection. 8 is endless. I will live forever when I unlock its secrets. Those bastards don't deserve me in my breakthrough. How dare they exile me, calling me insane, treat me like garbage. Well, I will have the last laugh. I found refuge in a small town in the desert, just on the other side of the mountain. Here, I will finally sacrifice the 8th soul. It's a shame that there were only 7 of them. It made my job a lot harder, but now, I will finally end it. Once and for all. I will be free. Bureau Case 758, Entry 2. October the 27th, 2002. After another long cold period, we found Merle in a small town in the desert, thanks to an anonymous tip. Although I know who he is because he has a local talk radio. The tip is rumoured to be working with a local psychopath/drug dealer, but that's a case for another day. We found him in a small, decrepit shack with graffiti drawn on the wall. Just like his last house, it was riddled with 8s. After we arrested him, he said, I knew you were coming 8 days ago. This guy clearly has an obsession with the number 8, so I must ask him why he only had 7 victims. Merle's journal entry 2. The cops are onto me. One of my contacts said that someone ratted me out and that the bureau would arrive in a bit more than a week. I was terrified that I wouldn't finish my work. I had to write my message out there so people who would understand would finish it. There must be 8. I took my bike and rode off up the hills in the vain hope that someone might find my messages. I started writing and writing and writing to every rock I could find. My mind just felt like a jumble of thoughts at this moment. My message had to get out there. Suddenly, I heard a police car as I was about to finish writing. I ran off as fast as I could to my hideout, the adrenaline pumping through my veins as I was about to pass out from running. I made it back safe and sound. The police might take me, but they will never take away my people, my work, or my masterpiece. Bureau Case 758, Entry 3. Interrogation transcripts. So, Merle, I think you know why you're in here. I do. This is just the Bureau and the government try and hide the truth. I know the secrets of 8. You clearly have an obsession with the number 8. So why did you only kill 7 victims? Do you know the secrets of 8? Do you want to know what you're blindly following the government into covering up for? Answer the damn question. 8 is infinity. It will unlock eternity. If you only knew what I knew, you wouldn't be defending the corrupt hierarchy you call a government. Stop changing the damn subject. Why did you only kidnap 7 victims? Where are their bodies? If you have any morality, you will at least allow closure to their 7 families you destroyed. The question you should be asking is why a psychopath, like me, is obsessed with 8. See? I'm doing your job for you. That's how much I pity you. Okay, smartass. Why? Why are you so obsessed with this stupid number? What is so special about 8? All the crap you've been telling me makes no sense. Now you're playing the game. It's simple. 8 is perfection. 8 is infinity. January 16th, 2003. Though the interrogation led nowhere, we did find multiple bloodstained weapons at his hideout. We managed to convict him on kidnapping us to this day, but we've never found the bodies, and he's yet to confess to the murders. This is it. It's finally over. But I still hope to find the bodies to give closure to the families. Merle's journal entry number 3. Here I am, imprisoned along with the scum of our ancestors' loins, longing for freedom to finish what I've started. I must leave a message to whomever finds my writings on the stones at the hill, in the hope of someone finding and appreciating my masterpiece. I wrote on the prison wall the location of where my people lie, resting until the 8th is found, where land and water collide, where fire once spewed forth. There will be 8 when I return to them. The prison wall I wrote on was very dirty and disgusting. I hope I wouldn't stay here for long, in a cage full of animals, of inbred idiots who kill for no purpose. But I do. My purpose is 8. I shall unlock infinity. December 19th, 2004. I've had it. I couldn't wait to get out of here. I couldn't lay awake at night and think that my masterpiece is incomplete while I rot away in this cage full of pigs. I've had it. There must be 8. And then it hit me. I shall take my own life and be part of my own masterpiece, so I could be with my people once and forever. Tonight, I shall eat my final meal as I join infinity. Bureau Case number 758, Entry 4. News article. Suspected killer Merle Abrams dies in prison. Merle Abrams, suspected infinity killer, passed away last night in Bolingbroke Penitentiary while waiting for trial for abduction and torture. Abrams, 57, was suspected to be responsible for the Infinity Murders, a series of disappearances that happened 6 years ago. Police believe the 7 victims, who were all single young men, to be killed while jogging, and they were all murdered by the same person, and had circumstantial evidence linking Mr. Abrams to the victims. No bodies were ever found, and Abrams never confessed, although he did admit to a weird obsession with the number 8. December 21st, 2004. It's finally over. But with his death, there are many unanswered questions left. Where are the bodies? And why did he obsess over the number 8? And what kind of disturbing horrors did those people get? I just hope that the families of those missing people would get closure one day. I talked to each one of them, and it was just as sad to look into their eyes and say that they would never see their sons, husbands, brothers, uncles, or friends again. To put yourself in their shoes, just simply not knowing, it's a truly horrible fate. It's even sadder to see the people with false hope, as false hope is worse than no hope. They lay awake at night, thinking their loved one will come back, dedicating their lives to something that has long gone. I just hope they all get closure in the end. Bureau Case Number 758, Entry 5. September 17th, 2013. After years of this being a cold case, we decided to send the report to one of the local Bureau heroes in the hope that he could find the bodies. We will send all the files and evidence to Special Agent David Norton, who is most known for killing infamous bank robber Michael Townley. We hope he has as much luck at his post in Los Santos. Thanks for sticking around to the end. And if you enjoyed today's story, make sure to leave a like. And if you want more like it, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a story. If you need more now, why not check out my Gamepasta playlist? I'll leave that on this card, and I'll catch you in the next story.